Our church council chair, Carter Kraft, will update us about our church and our church building.
Good day, everybody. This is Carter Kraft, Chair of the Church Council. On behalf of my family and our whole church family, I hope that you and yours and loved ones are all healthy and well during this difficult time. It's important to keep supporting each other these days in every way we can. I'm reaching out to ask you to consider a special gift to support the repair of our church's roof. Our effort to repair and refurbish our historic house of worship has been underway for almost 5 years. We're at a critical stage now where we need to start work to repair the roof. Let's talk a little more about the history of our building. Can we go to slide 3, please? Now, if you look along the roof line at the very tip top, you'll see it's actually not a straight line. You can see a bit of a curve in the row of shingles at the top. This is not a big problem, just more part of the building's personality. Going all the way back to 1856 when the cornerstone was laid, the first church structure was a much smaller, square-shaped building. But by the end of the Civil War, the community of Hoboken and West Hoboken was growing quickly, so our building was expanded, probably in the early 1870s. Can you go to slide 4, please? It was probably in this expansion that the curve appeared, where the old building meets the new building. Slide 5. As you can see from some of these pictures, our roof needs some attention. There are places where the shingles are decaying to the point where you can see the fibers that hold them together. That was one of the yellow flags that the engineer pointed out to us when they went through the building with us last year. In slide 6, you can see where we have made and are making some spot repairs. We've been doing this for a number of years, but we now realize we need to make the bigger investment to protect the whole building. Beneath the shingles, in slide 7, is a layer of what was called tar paper. In some areas, that paper is completely broken down and eroded. And underneath the paper is wood. In some places, that wood is old planks, 100 or more years old. And where it all gets exposed is where the water comes in, including the leak that damaged the organ. Our organ was first installed in the church in 1879. We have to fix the roof in order to keep from causing more damage to the organ. The bell tower is in mostly good shape, but where it meets the church building is where water is getting in. If you look at slide 8, you can see some openings at the west end of the building, where we have a small chimney that vents up from our boiler. In slide 9, well, fortunately, the roof and the building have a strong substructure. The roofers and contractors have told us that based on the size of the beams inside the attic. In slide 10, you'll see, and it's important to note, the roof hasn't gotten a major overhaul in decades. And even when the work was done, in the past 2 instances since the 80s, we really just added a layer of shingles. During those repairs, it doesn't appear that any roof structure or planks were repaired or replaced. That probably hasn't happened in 50 years or more. Now the professionals are telling us we cannot simply add a layer of shingles as has been done in the past. The roof can't support this much more weight. Therefore, we need to remove all the shingles, replace some rotten boards, and then put new material down. This will include a waterproof layer and then a layer of shingles on top. That should last us 20 years. Now, where the roof meets the sidewalls is called the eaves. Think about the word eavesdropping. That sort of means listening in while a bit out of sight. Well, in the past years, we've had raccoons and squirrels eavesdropping. Not just eavesdropping as in listening, but actually eavesstaying as in moving in. 3 years ago, we spent the money and did the work to get the raccoons out. And now, if you see in this picture where I'm pointing up to the top, this is where we had to create a new escape route for a squirrel family that just moved in this spring. About 3 weeks ago, the pest control company Excel came to install this one-way door that helps them get out but won't let them back in. That works for now, but that also cost us $600. This is a difficult time for all of us. So we should also look back and reflect a little bit on our successes. We've made a lot of repairs and some improvements. During Pastor Krieger's tenure, we repointed all the masonry walls all the way around the building. And when Pastor Sua joined us in 2017, we finished the repairs to the bell tower. To help prepare us for this work, the building committee has consulted with numerous professionals and obtained 3 cost estimates. We've gone through the building from top to bottom with McLaren Engineering, with our plumber from S&B Plumbing, with our electrician from Keller Electric, and we've done walkthroughs with 2 contractors who have a lot of experience with our building, including Rich Coker from Coker Construction and Frank Merle from Anchor Remodeling. The best estimate for the work is about $55,000 to $60,000 for the church building. As you might recall, we started a roof fund a few years ago, so that's going to help us get started. Our fundraising and budgeting to help pay for this work to this point adds up to about $30,000. This will enable us to start the work, but it won't enable us to finish it. And we shouldn't start what we can't finish. Can you make a donation or a pledge at this time? Every amount helps. If you write a check or make an online donation, please list Building Fund. If you want to make a pledge, you can write that in a letter or in an email and send it to Pastor Sua, either by email, pastorsua@gmail.com, or drop it in her mail slot at 606 Garden. Feel free to write on the outside of the envelope or in the email, Building Fund. In closing, I just want to mention that while I grew up in the Episcopal Church, it is John Wesley's words that have been speaking to me for the past 15 years. Slide 11. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. Slide 12. Regardless of what you can or can't do to support the roof work, please remember we are here to help each other. If there is anything you or your family needs, please do not hesitate to reach out. Let Pastor Sua know, and she will help you just as she and God help all of us. We're here to support each other. Thank you for your consideration and your support. We wish you and your families and loved ones the best of health and wellness. Take care.